the most honest man. They say the truth can set you free, but I never imagined it could put someone in chains of their own making. And yet there I stood, stunned into silence, as the most honest man I knew brought down his own ruin. Our village was known for many things: the sweetness of our mangoes, the wealth of the chief's cattle, and, perhaps most of all, for Adekunle the honest man. He wasn't just honest, he was relentless with the truth. It wasn't a virtue he wore lightly. It was a stubbornness in his bones, a force that turned even the simplest exchanges into occasions of awe or awkwardness. One afternoon, the entire village gathered under the old cashew tree, where elders settled disputes with stories and rumors that were woven into the fabric of everyday life. A commotion had erupted. Two brothers, Olamide and Babatunde, were at each other's throats over a lost bag of gold. I swear by my ancestors, Olamide, I didn't take it. Babatunde insisted, his face flushed with anger. And I swear by mine that you're a thief and a liar. Olamide shot back, gripping his machete a little too tightly for comfort. The elders tried to settle the matter, but it was clear no easy truth would rise to the surface. And then, as always when situations became entangled, the villagers turned to Adekunle. There he stood, wearing that same calm expression, as though he had never once doubted the sun would rise in the morning. Adekunle, one of the elders called, "Speak your truth. What do you know of this matter?" Adekunle stepped forward, his sandals dusting the dry earth. He sighed, like a man who carried too much truth and not enough space to store it. "I know who took the gold," he said quietly. The air was pulled tight like a drum, and everyone held their breaths. Adekunle's honesty had helped the village many times, like when he exposed the crooked tax collector or saved old Amina's goats from a jealous neighbor's theft. But this time was different. I remember feeling a prickle of dread as his eyes swept across the crowd. "Adekunle," the chief prompted gently, "speak." His voice was steady. "It was me." Gasps tore through the crowd, and I felt my knees weaken. Adekunle the honest man, the most upright man in the village confessing to thievery. My mind spun. It was as if the sun had declared it no longer wished to rise. Olamide lunged forward, rage contorting his features. You took it. Then why didn't you say so earlier?" he demanded. Adekunle turned to him, unflinching. "Because you didn't ask," he replied, with a sorrow that seemed to settle deep in the earth. "I did not lie, but I held back what I knew, and for that, I deserve your anger." The elders whispered among themselves. Adekunle's confession had not only shaken the village's faith in him but also in the very notion of truth. A man known for his unyielding honesty had let the brothers nearly destroy each other over a bag of gold, all while carrying that secret weight. "Why, Adekunle?" one of the elders asked, voice cracking. Adekunle looked up at the cashew tree, as if its ancient branches could offer him forgiveness. "I took the gold to save it from being spent foolishly," he said. "But in doing so, I forgot the wisdom of honesty, an honesty that does not just speak, but shares, even when silence feels safer." The crowd murmured, and I felt something inside me twist. The truth had been right in front of us, dressed in the gentlest disguise, a silence. That day, the village learned that honesty, in all its stubborn forms, can also carry shadows. As for Adekunle, he worked for weeks to repay the brothers, returning not just the gold but their trust, brick by painful brick. The elders told his story to remind us that even the most honest among us can falter, and that sometimes, The heaviest truths are the ones we bury deep, waiting to be unearthed. And every time I hear the old cashew leaves rustle, I wonder, what truths do we all hold back, thinking we're doing the right thing? What is your opinion on Adekule's honesty? Reply in the comments section. Kindly subscribe for more interesting stories.